So to find the gradient of a line then, the gradient of a line is how far the line is going up for every one to the right we go. Or in other words, if we were to draw a triangle, we want to know for every one across, so this bit here is one across, how far up is that? Now because we have that triangle similar to the larger triangle I've just drawn, you can see here we've gone across here a total of 8. And when we go across 8, the green line has gone up by 2. And you can see quite clearly as well, if we've gone across by 4, we've gone up by 1. So the gradient of this line is how far up we're going for every one across we go. And you can see that these are in a nice ratio. 2 times 4 is 8, 1 times 4 is 4. So something times 4 is 1. Or in other words, what we can do to find the gradient is to find the length of that line. And we can find the length of that line quite nicely, because to get from here to here, all we're doing is dividing by 4. And also we have a constant proportionality between the two. We have 2 divided by 8, 1 divided by 4, and something divided by 1, or the other way around. What we need to do is, to find this length here, we need to do our height of our triangle, so for our blue it would be 2, divided by the width of our triangle, or the change in x. So the change in the height of our triangle, which is the change in y, divided by the width of our triangle, which is the change in x, which is a quarter. And it makes sense because what we're doing is we've got this length here, which is 8, and that 8, if we're going along just one of those instead of all 8 of them, so we're going to divide our height by 8 as well. So we're going to do our height divided by that 8, 2 divided by 8, which is 0.25. You can see it works for that triangle in black as well. So we have our height of 1 divided by our width of 4 to get us a quarter again, or 0.25. So our gradient then, that height is going to be 0.25, because we're going up a quarter, then another quarter, then another quarter, then another quarter. It makes a lot of sense. So we're going up 1 quarter every time we go across 1. And we usually call the gradient the letter m. So our gradient in this case is 1 quarter. And the general formula for that was if we do it in terms of our triangle, it's going to be the height of our triangle divided by the width of our triangle, or it's going to, if you were to write it properly mathematically, it would be the change in your y value, so your y value being your vertical value, divided by your change in your x value. And some people write change in as a delta symbol, which is a small triangle's Greek letter delta. So change in x divided by change in y, divided by change in x. Just make that really clear. So delta change in y divided by change in x, and that's the general formula for the gradient of any line.